Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, February 17th, 2023. I'm Barry Cowan, the president of the Deerfield Beach Computer Club since 2005. Want to welcome you all to today's Zoom meeting. We have a very interesting agenda. I did mention at the beginning of the meeting that in order to keep with our every 2 week schedule, we are going to have the next meeting on Friday, March the 10th. So make a note of it right now so that you can attend. Don't rely on the emails for invitations or the reminder, which a lot of people don't read anyway, I found out. So the smartest way is just to check the website periodically, where I've already updated, start to update regularly. Okay, that being said, security is a great deal of news today. When you look at it, when you hear it, when you read it, when you see it, it's a very interesting subject. It's sort of sandwiched in between all of the shootings that are happening across the country. It seems to be a big problem, and security is ballooning also, pun intended. So we have an expert here for APCUG. He's been my friend for many, many years. We've supported each other personally and professionally, and I welcome him to give a great presentation. This is a brand new one on cybersecurity from A to Z. Let's give a warm DBCC welcome to Bob Gostischa. And sir, you may share your screen when ready.
Thank you, Barry. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Cybersecurity, A to Z. I'm a security expert. And if you don't believe me, just look at my cup.
Funny.
So what is cybersecurity? Cybersecurity ensures the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information and systems. This means protecting against unauthorized access or notification of data, ensuring that systems are available for use when needed, and maintaining the privacy of information. Sit back and let me provide you with the information needed so you can use best practices to stay secure. The next 24 slides and videos will give you all the information you need to become a cybersecurity guru. I know A to Z should be 26 slides, except there's nothing of interest or importance in the letters X and Y. And by the time we finish this journey, that's probably a good thing. I've used ChatGPT in creating this presentation and edited its import to eliminate some errors and repetitiveness. Some repeats, however, are there to drive home the information. Let's start with A. Always update your software and operating system to the latest version, and there are several reasons why this needs to be done as soon as possible. A. Always update your software and operating system to the latest version. It is important to always update your software and operating system to the latest version for a few key reasons. Security. Software updates often include security patches that fix vulnerabilities in the software. If you don't update your software, you may be at risk of being exploited by hackers or malware. Improved functionality. Software updates often include new features and improvements that can enhance the performance and functionality of your device. Bug fixes. Software updates often include fixes for bugs and issues that can cause problems or negatively impact the performance of your device. By keeping your software and operating system up to date, you can ensure that your device is running at its best and is protected from potential vulnerabilities. It is generally a good idea to set your device to automatically install updates when they are available, so that you don't have to remember to do it manually. B, be aware of phishing attacks and verify the authenticity of emails before clicking on any links or downloading attachments. Phishing attacks are a common type of cybercrime in which attackers use fake emails or websites to trick people into revealing sensitive information, such as passwords or financial information. These attacks can be difficult to detect, and the attackers often use tactics to make their emails or websites look legitimate. B, be aware of phishing attacks. To protect yourself from phishing attacks, it is important to be aware of their existence and to be vigilant when interacting with emails or websites. Here are a few tips to help you verify the authenticity of emails and avoid phishing attacks. Be suspicious of emails that ask for sensitive information or that contain urgent or threatening language. Check the sender's email address. Is it coming from a familiar domain, or does it look suspicious? Look for typos or other anomalies in the email. Sometimes attackers will use slight variations of a legitimate email address or website to fool you. Do not click on links or download attachments from unfamiliar sources. If you are unsure whether an email is legitimate, you can try hovering over the link to see the destination's URL, or you can contact the sender to verify the authenticity of the email. By following these guidelines, you can help protect yourself from phishing attacks and other online threats. C, use complex and unique passwords for all accounts. Consider using a password manager to keep track of them. C, use complex and unique passwords. Using complex and unique passwords is an important step in protecting your online accounts and personal information. Using the same password for multiple accounts or using easy-to-guess passwords makes it easier for attackers to gain access to your accounts. If you have a lot of accounts, it can be difficult to remember all your unique passwords. A password manager can be a helpful tool. A password manager is a program that stores your passwords in a secure way and allows you to access them with a single master password. This way, you only have to remember one password instead of trying to remember all of your different passwords. In addition to using strong and unique passwords, it is also important to regularly update your passwords and enable two-factor authentication on your accounts whenever possible. Two-factor authentication adds an extra layer of security by requiring you to enter a code that is sent to your phone or email in addition to your password when logging into an account. D, data breach. A data breach is an incident in which sensitive or confidential information is accessed or disclosed without authorization. D, data breach. Data breaches can have serious consequences, including financial loss, damage to reputation, and legal liability. They can also lead to identity theft and other forms of cybercrime. It is important for organizations to have a robust security measure in place to protect against data breaches and to have a plan in place for responding to a breach if one occurs. Individuals can also take steps to protect themselves from data breaches by using strong and unique passwords, enabling two-factor authentication on their accounts, and being cautious about sharing personal information online. It is also a good idea to regularly monitor your accounts and credit report for any suspicious activity. E, Enable a firewall on your computer and router to help protect against external threats. E. Enable a firewall. A firewall is a security system that monitors and controls incoming and outgoing network traffic based on predetermined security rules. Firewalls can be implemented in hardware, software, or a combination of both. Enabling a firewall on your computer and router can help protect against external threats such as hacking, malware, and other cyber attacks. A firewall can block unauthorized access to your network and prevent malicious traffic from entering your system. F. Fraud. Cyber fraud refers to the use of the internet to commit financial crimes, such as stealing money or personal information. F. Cyber fraud. Cyber fraud can have serious consequences for both individuals and organizations. It can result in financial loss, damage to reputation, and legal liability. To protect against cyber fraud, it is important to be vigilant when interacting with emails, websites, and online accounts. This includes using strong and unique passwords, enabling two-factor authentication whenever possible, and being cautious about sharing personal information online. It is also a good idea to regularly monitor your accounts and credit reports for any suspicious activity and to report any incidents of cyber fraud to the appropriate authorities. By taking these precautions, you can help protect yourself and your organization from cyber fraud and other online threats. G. Grayware. Grayware refers to software that is not malicious in nature, but that may still impose a risk to an organization's security. Examples of grayware include adware, spyware, and PUPs, potentially unwanted programs. G. Grayware. Adware is software that displays advertisements on a computer or device. While it is not typically malicious in nature, it can be annoying and may slow down the performance of the device. Spyware is software that's designed to collect information about a user without their knowledge or consent. It can track a user's online activity and collect sensitive data such as passwords and financial information. PUPs stands for potentially unwanted programs, are programs that may be installed along with other software, often without the user's knowledge. They can include toolbars, browser extensions, and other types of software that may not be malicious in themselves, but that may be unwanted or unnecessary. Grayware can pose a risk to an organization's security because it may consume resources, slow down performance, or expose sensitive data. It is important for organizations to have policies and procedures in place to prevent the installation of grayware and to regularly scan for and remove any existing grayware. HTTPS is a secure version of the HTTP protocol that is used to transmit data over the internet. It also encrypts the data to protect it against tampering. HTTPS, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. There are several reasons why it is important to use HTTPS. Security, as mentioned, HTTPS provides an extra layer of security by encrypting the data being transmitted. This makes it more difficult for attackers to intercept and tamper with the data. Privacy. HTTPS helps to protect the privacy of users by preventing third parties from being able to see the data being transmitted. This can be particularly important for sensitive information, such as financial or personal data. Trust. Using HTTPS can help to build trust with users, as it demonstrates that a website is taking steps to secure the data being transmitted. Compatibility. Many modern web browsers and devices will not work with websites that do not use HTTPS. So using HTTPS can help ensure compatibility with these systems. Overall, using HTTPS is an important step in preventing the security and privacy of users and ensuring the integrity of the data being transmitted over the internet. Identity theft is the unauthorized use of someone's personal information, such as their name, address, or financial information for the purpose of committing fraud or other crimes. Identity theft can have serious consequences, including financial loss and damage to the reputation. Identity theft. Here are a few steps you can take to protect yourself from identity theft. Use a strong and unique password for all your accounts and avoid using the same password for multiple accounts. Consider using a password manager to help you keep track of your passwords. Enable two-factor authentication whenever possible on your accounts. This adds an extra layer of security by requiring you to enter a code that is sent to your phone or email in addition to your password when logging into an account. Be careful about sharing personal information online, especially on social media or unfamiliar websites. Avoid posting sensitive information such as your full name, address, or financial information online. Regularly check your accounts and credit reports for any suspicious activity. This can help you catch identity theft early on and minimize the damage. When accessing sensitive information online, make sure you are using a secure network. Avoid accessing sensitive information on public Wi-Fi networks, as these are often unencrypted and can be easily accessed by hackers. This would be a great time to use your VPN. By following these guidelines, you can help protect yourself from identity theft and other forms of cybercrime. JavaScript is a programming language that is often used to create interactive features on websites. JavaScript can be used to create features such as form validation, image sliders, and pop-up windows. JavaScript. There are a few reasons why you may want to avoid JavaScript. Security. JavaScript can be used to create vulnerabilities that can be exploited by attackers. Disabling JavaScript can help reduce the risk of these types of attacks. Performance. JavaScript can sometimes slow down the performance of a website, especially on older or less powerful devices. Disabling JavaScript can help improve the performance of a website. Privacy. JavaScript can be used to track a user's online activity and collect data about their browsing habits. Disabling JavaScript can help protect your privacy by preventing websites from collecting this information. That being said, JavaScript is an important and widely used technology, and in many cases, it is necessary for the proper functioning of a website. If you do decide to disable JavaScript, you may find that some websites do not work as expected, or that certain features are not available. A keylogger is a type of software or hardware that is designed to record keystrokes. Keyloggers can be used for legitimate purposes and malicious purposes. A keylogger. A keylogger can be used for malicious purposes, such as stealing passwords or personal information. To avoid keyloggers, you can take the following precaution. Use antivirus software. Antivirus software can help detect and remove keyloggers and other types of malware. Be sure to keep your antivirus software up to date and run regular scans to check for any malware infections. Use a firewall. It can help prevent keyloggers and other types of malware from entering your system. Be sure to enable your firewall and keep it up to date. Avoid downloading suspicious software, especially from unfamiliar sources. Only download software from reputable websites and be sure to scan it for malware before installing it. Use a virtual keyboard. A virtual keyboard is a software tool that allows you to type on your screen rather than using a physical keyboard. This can help prevent keyloggers that are installed on your physical keyboard from capturing your keystrokes. Use a password manager to help protect against keyloggers by generating strong, unique passwords. For your accounts and storing them in a secure location. This means that even if a keylogger can capture your password, it will be useless to the hacker because they won't have access to the password manager. By following these precautions, you can help protect yourself from keyloggers and other types of malware. L. Locky ransomware is a type of malware that encrypts a victim's files and demands a ransom be paid in order to decrypt them. It is named after the .locky file extension that it adds to the encrypted files. L. Locky ransomware. To avoid ransomware, you can take the following precautions. Keep your software and operating system up to date. Regularly installing updates for your software and operating system can help protect against vulnerabilities that can be exploited by ransomware. Use antivirus software. This can help detect and remove ransomware and other types of malware. Be sure to keep your antivirus software up to date and run regular scans to check for any malware infections. Enable a firewall. It can help prevent ransomware and other types of malware from entering your system. Be sure to enable your firewall and keep it up to date. Avoid clicking on links or downloading attachments from unknown sources. Ransomware is often spread through phishing emails or malicious websites. Be cautious when clicking on links or downloading attachments, especially from unfamiliar sources. Use a backup system. Regularly backing up your important files can help protect against ransomware. If your files are encrypted by ransomware, you can restore them from the backup rather than paying the ransom. By following these precautions, you can help protect yourself from ransomware and other forms of malware. M. Malware is short for malicious software, and it refers to any software that's designed to harm or exploit a computer or network. Malware can include viruses, worms, trojans, and other types of harmful software. M. Malware. Here are a few of the most common types of malware. Virus is a type of malware that is designed to replicate itself and spread from one computer to another. Viruses can cause a variety of problems, including damaging or deleting files, corrupting data, and slowing down a system. Worm is a type of malware that is designed to spread itself from one computer to another, often without the user's knowledge. Worms can exploit vulnerabilities in software or operating systems to replicate and spread themselves. Trojans is a type of malware that is disguised as legitimate software and is designed to gain unauthorized access to a system. Trojans are often used to steal sensitive information such as login credentials or financial data. Ransomware is a type of malware that encrypts a victim's files and demands a ransom be paid in order to decrypt them. Ransomware can be particularly damaging because it can hold a victim's files hostage until the ransom is paid, and there is no guarantee that the attacker will actually decrypt the files after receiving payment. Adware is a type of malware that is designed to display advertising on a victim's computer. Adware can be annoying and can slow down a system, but it is generally not as harmful as other types of malware. By being aware of these common types of malware and taking precautions to protect against them, you can help keep your system safe from harm. Network security refers to the measures taken to protect the computer's network and the devices connected to it from unauthorized access or attacks. Network security can include measures such as firewalls, antivirus software, and intrusion detection systems. N. Network security. Setting up network security involves implementing a variety of measures to protect a computer network and the devices connected to it from unauthorized access or attacks. Here are a few steps you can take to set up network security. Determine your security needs. The first step in setting up network security is to assess your security needs and determine what types of threats you are most likely to face. This will help you determine which security measures are most appropriate for your network. Implement security measures. There are many different types of security measures that you can implement to protect your network. Some common measures include firewalls, antivirus software, intrusion detection systems, and network access control systems. Monitor and update your security regularly, and update your security measures to ensure that they are effective and up to date. This may involve installing updates for your security software, revising security policies, and responding to security breaches or threats. By following these steps and implementing appropriate security measures, you can help protect your network and the devices connected to it from unauthorized access or attack. O. Online privacy refers to the protection of personal information and activities while using the internet. Always use caution when sharing private data and financial information. O. Online privacy. Here are a few steps you can take to protect your online privacy. Use strong and unique passwords for all your online accounts and avoid using the same password for multiple accounts. You can use a password manager to help generate and store strong, unique passwords. Enabling two-factor authentication gives you an additional layer of security that requires you to provide a second form of authentication, such as a security token or a one-time password, in addition to your password. Enabling 2FA can help protect against unauthorized access to your accounts. Use a virtual private network. It encrypts your internet connection and hides your IP address. Using a VPN can help protect your online privacy by making it more difficult for third parties to track your online activity. Be cautious with sharing personal information online and consider the potential risk of sharing it. Avoid providing personal information to unknown or untrusted sources, and be aware of phishing attacks that may attempt to trick you into revealing sensitive information. Use privacy-focused browsers and search engines that block tracking cookies or anonymize your search queries. Using these types of tools can help protect your online privacy. By following these steps and being mindful of your online activity, you can help protect your online privacy and keep your personal information safe. P. A password is a secret string of characters that is used to verify the identity of a user. For us seniors, there's another method, other than passwords, to protect things we share with the younger generation. But more on that one after this next video. P. A password. Here are a few best practices for protecting your password both online and off. Use strong and unique passwords. Don't share your password. Avoid sharing your password with anyone, even trusted friends or family members. If someone else knows your password, they could potentially access your accounts or cause harm to your systems. Avoid using personal information in your passwords, such as your name, address, or birth date in your passwords. This information is often easily accessible to hackers and can make it easier for them to guess your password. Use a strong password manager, which is a tool that helps you generate, store, and manage strong, unique passwords. A password manager can help you create and use complex passwords without having to remember them, and it can help protect your passwords from being stolen or exposed. Protect your passwords offline. In addition to protecting your passwords online, it is also important to protect it offline. This can include taking precautions such as not writing your passwords down or storing it in a visible location, and being cautious about who you share your passwords with. By following these best practices, you can help protect your password and keep your accounts and systems safe from unauthorized access. Next, I'm going to share how you protect things from the younger generation without a password. Whoops. If we all switched to cursive and stick to stick shift cars, we could cripple an entire generation. Q. Quarantine is a security measure that involves isolating a device or file that is suspected of being infected with malware or otherwise poses a threat to the system. Q. Quarantine. There are a few different ways you can implement quarantine on a system. Move the suspect file to a separate location. One way to quarantine a file is to move it to a separate location on the system, such as a designated quarantine folder. This can help prevent the file from being accessed or executed, and it can also make it easier to analyze or remove the file later. Disconnect the device from the network. If a device, such as a computer or smartphone, is suspected of being infected with malware or otherwise poses a threat to the system, you can quarantine it by disconnecting it from the network. This can help prevent the device from spreading malware or accessing sensitive information. Use security software. Some security software, such as antivirus programs or mobile device management systems, may have built-in quarantine capabilities. These systems can be configured to automatically move suspect files to a quarantine folder or to disconnect infected devices from the network. By implementing quarantine measures, you can help prevent the spread of malware and protect against further damage to your system. It is important to regularly check and maintain your quarantine folder and to remove any suspect files or devices from quarantine once they have been cleaned or neutralized. R. Recovery refers to the process of restoring a system or data after a failure or loss event. Recovery can involve a variety of activities, such as restoring from backups, repairing damaged systems and data, and implementing contingency plans. R. Recovery. There are a few key steps you can take to assure recovery is possible on a system. Create regular backups on your system, and data is one of the most important steps you can take to assure recovery is possible. Backups can be used to restore your system and data after a failure or data loss event. Test your backups, which is extremely important in ensuring that they are functioning properly and that you can successfully restore from them. Testing your backups can help you identify any issues or problems with your backup process and address them before a recovery is necessary. Store backups securely. To protect your backups from physical damage and unauthorized access by storing them in a secure location, such as a fireproof safe or off-site storage facility. Implement a disaster recovery plan, which is a set of procedures and guidelines for responding to and recovering from a catastrophic event, such as a natural disaster or cyber attack. A well-crafted disaster recovery plan can help ensure that you are able to recover your system and data after a disaster and minimize downtime. By following these steps and regularly creating and testing backups, you can help assure that recovery is possible on your system in the event of a failure or data loss event. S. Social engineering manipulates people into performing actions or divulging confidential information, usually by preying on their trust or emotions. S. Social engineering. Social engineering is the practice of manipulating people into performing actions or divulging confidential information, often by preying on their trust or emotions. Here are some common forms of social engineering. Phishing is a type of social engineering attack that involves sending fake emails or text messages that appear to come from a legitimate source, such as a bank or government agency. These messages often contain malicious links or attachments that, when clicked on, can compromise your security. Baiting is a type of social engineering attack that involves offering something attractive, such as a gift or service, in exchange for sensitive information or access to a system. Scareware is a type of social engineering attack that involves tricking users into believing that their computer is infected with a virus or other malware. The attacker may then offer to sell the victim a fake antivirus solution to fix the problem. Impersonation is a type of social engineering attack in which the attacker poses as a legitimate authority figure or trusted individual in order to gain access to sensitive information or systems. Pretexting is a type of social engineering attack in which the attacker creates a fake identity or scenario in order to obtain sensitive information from the victim. Quid pro quo is a type of social engineering attack in which the attacker offers something in exchange for sensitive information or access to a system. This could be something as simple as offering assistance in exchange for a password. It is important to be aware of these tactics and to be cautious when sharing sensitive information or access to systems, especially when it is not clear who is requesting it. E. Two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication is an additional layer of security that requires a user to provide two different authentication methods in order to access a system or sensitive information. T. Two-factor authentication. Here are some reasons why setting up 2FA is important. It adds an extra layer of protection. With 2FA, even if an attacker guesses your password, they still need another form of authentication in order to access your account or system. This makes it much more difficult for them to gain access and reduces the risk of your account being compromised. It protects against phishing attacks. Phishing attacks are common tactics used by attackers to trick users into revealing their login credentials. With 2FA in place, even if an attacker can obtain your login credentials, they still need another form of authentication in order to access your account. It helps prevent unauthorized access. 2FA can help prevent unauthorized access to your accounts and systems by requiring an additional form of authentication beyond just a username and password. This can help protect against unauthorized access from within your organization as well as from external attackers. Overall, setting up 2FA is an important security measure that can help protect your accounts and systems from being compromised by attackers. It is a simple and effective way to add an extra layer of protection to your online accounts and systems. U. User privacy refers to the protection of an individual's personal information and data from unauthorized access or misuse. U. User privacy. Here are some best practices for setting up user privacy. Use strong and unique passwords for all your online accounts. Avoid using the same password for multiple accounts and consider using a password manager to help generate and store strong passwords. Enable two-factor authentication on all your online accounts that offer it. This will require an additional form of authentication beyond just your password, making it more difficult for attackers to gain access to your accounts. Be cautious when sharing personal information online, especially with unfamiliar websites or individuals. Think carefully about what information you are sharing and who you are sharing it with. Use a virtual private network when connecting to the internet to help protect your online activity and personal information from being monitored or tracked. Keep your software and devices up to date with the latest security patches and updates. These updates often include fixes for vulnerabilities that could be exploited by attackers. Use privacy settings on your social media and other online accounts to control who can see your personal information and activity. By following these best practices, you can help protect your personal information and data from unauthorized access or misuse. It is important to be proactive in safeguarding your user privacy in today's digital world. A virtual private network is a security solution that creates a secure encrypted connection between a device and a network. It is often used to protect data transmitted over a public network from being intercepted by third parties. A virtual private network. A virtual private network is a security solution that creates a secure encrypted connection between a device and a network. Here are some of the most important reasons for using a VPN. VPNs can help protect your online privacy by encrypting your internet activity and hiding your IP address. This can prevent your online activity from being monitored or tracked by third parties such as your internet service provider or the government. VPNs can enhance online security by encrypting your internet connection and protecting it from cyber threats such as hackers and malware. VPNs can help you bypass internet censorship and access blocked or restricted websites and content. This can be particularly useful when traveling or living in a country with strict internet censorship laws. VPNs can allow you to access content that may be restricted based on your location, such as a streaming service or websites. VPNs can help protect your data from being intercepted or accessed by unauthorized parties when using public Wi-Fi or other untrusted networks. VPNs can provide several important benefits for online privacy and security. They are a useful tool for anyone who is concerned about protecting their online activity and data from being monitored or accessed by third parties. I personally use Avast's Secure Line. Find out more about it by following the link listed. Wi-Fi Protected Access, WPA, is a security protocol that is used to secure wireless networks. It provides stronger security than its predecessor, WEP. Wi-Fi Protected Access. Wi-Fi Protected Access, WPA, is a security protocol that is used to secure wireless networks. It provides stronger security than its predecessor, WEP, Wired Equivalent Privacy, by using encryption and other security measures to protect against unauthorized access. The strongest version of WPA is WPA2, Wi-Fi Protected Access. WPA3 is an updated version of WPA which was introduced back in 2004 and is currently the most widely used security protocol for wireless networks. WPA2 uses advanced encryption techniques to provide strong security for wireless networks. It uses a combination of Temporal Key Integrity Protocol, TKIP, and Advanced Encryption Standard, AES, to encrypt wireless data transmitted between a device and a wireless access point. It is important to use WPA2 or the newer WPA3 if available for your wireless network because it provides stronger security than earlier versions of WPA and other security protocols. To help protect against unauthorized access and cyber attacks, such as man-in-the-middle attacks and wireless eavesdropping. Overall, it is recommended to use WPA2 or WPA3 for your wireless network to ensure the strongest security possible. There aren't really any terms worth mentioning that start with the letter X and Y. So the final term is Z, zero-day attack. Z, zero-day attack. A zero-day attack is an attack that exploits a previously unknown vulnerability, a zero-day vulnerability, in a system or software. These attacks can be particularly effective because there is no defense against them until the vulnerability is discovered and patched. Here are some steps you can take to protect against zero-day attacks. Regularly apply software updates and patches, as they often include fixes for vulnerabilities that could be exploited by attackers. Use a firewall, which can help protect against zero-day attacks by blocking incoming traffic from unknown or untrusted sources. Use antivirus. It can help detect and prevent zero-day attacks by identifying and blocking known malware and other threats. I have used Avast since 2003. More information is available at the link listed. Use two-factor authentication, which adds an extra layer of security by requiring an additional form of authentication beyond just a password. This can help prevent zero-day attacks from being successful, even if an attacker is able to obtain a user's login credentials. Implement network segmentation, which divides a network into separate, isolated segments or zones. It can help prevent the spread of zero-day attacks by limiting access to specific areas of the network and controlling the flow of traffic between them. Overall, it's important to be proactive in protecting against zero-day attacks by implementing multiple layers of security and keeping your software and systems up to date. Here are some programs and apps that I can recommend to strengthen your cybersecurity. Number one, Avast One Essential, which is the free version of Avast's newest product, Avast One. That's available for Windows, for Mac, for Android, iOS, almost everything you use to connect to the internet. For your VPN, I can suggest that you use the Avast Secure Line, which is their VPN product. And if you're using Avast One Essential, you actually get a VPN included with it that gives you 5 gigabytes of encryption per week, which is a lot more than most people ever use. Avast now has a new product that helps protect your identity. So it monitors for identity theft, and that's called Avast Secure Identity. And here are some other programs and apps that I can also recommend to strengthen your cybersecurity. CCleaner keeps your system clean and fast because it gets rid of the garbage that accumulates on your system. You should also be keeping your programs and apps up to date. And to do that, use a program called Patch My PC Home Updater. It can keep over 300 programs and apps up to date. Password Manager. We should all be using a password manager to make it easy to use a different password for every account that requires a password. One that I can recommend is Bitwarden. I also use a second one. I have stopped using LastPass because of the recent breaches that have occurred, almost one after another. But it's very easy to change over if you should be using LastPass to one of the others. You can simply export your passwords, then get rid of LastPass, and then import those passwords. It's now time to have a little fun because the work is over. Here's one way to never ever have to change your clocks again. And he had the nerve to tell me to close the laptop lid. Eat salad, they said. It's healthy, they said. You know what never gets recalled? Cake. Human engineering at its finest. If a man says he will fix it, he will. There's no need to keep reminding him every 6 months. Teacher, I have a green ball in one hand, a green ball in another. So what do I have? Student, Kermit the Frog begging for mercy. A new teacher was trying to make use of her psychology courses. She started her class by saying, "Everyone who thinks they're stupid, stand up." After a few seconds, Larry stood up, and the teacher said, "Do you think you're stupid, Larry?" "No, ma'am, but I hate to see you standing there all by yourself." As you know, I started presentations way back in 2010. Happy to still be doing them today. The only thing that's changed, I don't get to go out and visit all the darn places anymore. I've pretty much been grounded. So my presentations are now being done strictly remotely. Presentations are always designed for the average computer user, not the geek. And if you know of any other groups or clubs, have them contact me and I'll be happy to arrange a program for them. There's never a charge to the club or its members for my services. That's a vast job. They pay the expenses. I also do lots of other things online. And if you're interested in looking at any of them, just take a look at the link listed at the bottom. The link listed here will give you access to all the programs we talked about and a whole lot more. Barry's also recording this. I also send out a follow-up email, which also includes a link to a pre-recorded presentation. And I'm now going to stop sharing my screen and we'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, please hit the raise your hand icon so we can see if you have any questions. I can imagine what I saw there. Bob, I think this is a great cooking show. I can't wait to taste cybersecurity from A to Z alphabet soup. Okay, Irving, you're on.
No, we got somebody else before
Oh,
that.
somebody, who is first?
Is it
It's Steve.
Steve?
Steve,
That's what I
okay.
thought. Yep.
Yes, you mentioned that you can hover over somewhere to find the information. Now, can you do on an iPhone to get the same result?
That's something Barry would have to answer. I don't have an iPhone. Is there a way of hovering over a link on an iPhone, Barry?
Well, sure. I mean, well, you actually have to put your finger on it or put a stylus on it, and then it will, when you press on the item, it will bring up a menu of options that you can use.
Oh, that's good.
It's called haptic feedback. If you have that
Right,
enabled, you should be
Okay.
okay.
Oh, good. Thank you. That sounds good.
Irving,
Irving, unmute yourself. You're
My
on.
turn. Okay. I know, Bob, that you promote many free programs to all of us. I was wondering if there's some kind of a budget number that you might come up with in terms of buying security programs that are not available for free, but that are really essential to keep, to be safe.
well, I consider myself pretty safe and I use on paid products. The only paid products I have is I have a VPN from Avast. I pay for the VPN. I use their free antivirus program. I think that's all I need. If you're using the latest one, the Avast Essential, it comes with a firewall that's built in. It comes with VPN, as I said, gives you 5 gigabytes per week, which is a lot more than most people will ever need. If you need anything beyond that, then pay for the VPN. But I don't think you have to have anything for a firewall. You don't need anything for your antivirus. Free is more than sufficient. And there really isn't that much more that's included in the paid version that, to me, makes it worth having to pay for. I make a great salesman for Avast, especially for the free version.
You're not a salesman,
you.
you're an evangelist, sir.
Yeah, well, they know
Okay,
what I promote is their free product.
Mike, what do you got to say? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I've got a Vast on my home computer, but this is a Chromebook, and I'm not sure you need or have a Vast for Chromebooks.
As long as you have your stuff backed up, you really don't need anything on your Chromebook. Because if something gets on it, you just reset it. You go back to square one, sign into your account, all your stuff comes back anyway. Okay.
Yeah, but I would like the VPN on it.
Well, the VPN, yes, that I would recommend, but there's no free VPN unless you're also using their Avast One Essential. That comes with a VPN. So you would have to purchase the VPN, and that's called Secure Line.
Can I get essentials for the Chromebook and then?
Yeah, you could, but if you turn it off, you're not going to have it. So, but you could get it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Dorothy.
Everything, I get all these things on my computer about cheap sewing machines and cheap computers and enter a contest. All of those are scams.
Yep.
Don't ever send for anything on Facebook. Okay,
Nope.
okay,
The
thank you.
safest way is to not do it to start off with.
So not even open the email, just let it be. I
Yeah,
mean, don't even
it
open
is spam. It is spam. Just get rid of it.
Okay,
Okay.
And there's a lot of tax scams going around too through
Well,
email.
yeah, it's tax season right now. So,
Right,
yep.
look out. Look out, that's all I can say. It doesn't take a balloon to figure out what's going on, not up in the air, but also down here in the ground. So you have to be constantly alert right now for anything, attacks on the grid, anything you're talking about that would deal with cybersecurity and our readiness. I think we got a wake-up call that we need to be ready for all of these things. For some idiot to come out and start shooting up a bunch of wires and antennas and everything else somewhere and ruining the grid or shutting down people or areas for a long period of time. And also, Bob, I just want to mention that all of this stuff you're talking about should also be included in your legacy situation. People, if anything happens to you, all of this information has to be recorded somewhere or placed somewhere where whoever is going to take over for you, should you pass, has this information at hand in order to unlock your accounts and do whatever is necessary to take care of the end of life situation that all of us are going to face.
That's something you need to set up while you still can. Don't wait until you pass away and hope that somebody knows how to do it, because it's usually too late if you
That's
don't
right.
take care of it while you still can.
That's right. Any other questions? Well, Bob, you deserve a sitting ovation if anybody does. Let's give it to him.
Thank you.
That's
Folks.
an amazing amount of information.
That's why I said it takes just about an hour. It's actually a little longer than I'd like, but
That's fine.
yep.
Linda, do you have a question? Oh, hello, video.
Linda, you're muted.
Unmute yourself, dear. Linda?
I was just wanting to put my camera on so he could see me clapping later. That's
Oh,
all.
great. Okay.
But I have to tell you one thing, I have VPN and I leave it turned off so often on my desktop because every time I want to get onto Macy's, Macy's website, it will not let me go on if I have the VPN turned on.
Yep.
And so it's so much of a pain. So many different places I like to go don't like VPNs. So I
Well,
just
you can
turn it on.
use a VPN that's in the United States that won't have that problem. If you set it to a, would you?
No,
No.
even from
If you're-
Miami, it still won't take it.
Oh,
Linda, if you're on a secure network, you really don't have to use your VPN
Yeah.
on a
Right.
trusted site, okay?
Yeah.
It is mainly to be used when you're on an unsecured network.
When you're in hotels and places. Yeah.
Correct.
and
Yeah.
you want.
Now, one way you can bypass that and still make it secure, even though you're in a hotel, is to use your cell phone as a hotspot. If
Mhm.
you're using your cell phone, it's secure because it's your network.
Oh, the cell phone is pretty secure.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Oh, but
And-
using the cell phone without using Wi-Fi.
No, what you do is you're setting up a hotspot, which is actually internet access, and your phone is providing the internet link.
Right.
And that when you set it up, you have to set it up with a password. You actually create a network with
Mhm.
a password, and that's what you use when you don't have access someplace, but your cell phone is working. Especially in Florida, you've got internet access or cell phone access virtually all over the place.
I think what she was addressing was the issue where your VPN is recognized as being that you're out of the country. If you use a foreign one and you're
No,
trying to
even if
do a
you're-
financial transaction, it won't work because
No,
they'll
even
think,
if you're in the country, Barry, because you do have limited places. Not every single city has a VPN
that's right.
location.
Yeah, you're
And
right
if the
there.
location is not exactly where you are, well, then that financial place is going to reject it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, because my VPN says I'm Miami and it still
Right.
rejects. Mine rejects everything, even with
Because
Miami.
you don't live in Miami.
That's right. So
Mhm.
it says no way.
Yep.
Yeah, so I just
And
leave it turned off my desktop.
And it
Yep.
can also slow down things if you're going through a VPN. You're going through a tunnel, so you're not getting your
Correct.
full speed.
Correct.
Okay.
Folks, thanks for having me.
Wonderful,
I'll see you
Bob.
at the next meeting.
Oh, thank you. Take care,
Right.
and God bless you and Alice, and thanks for all your support and friendship. I truly value it.
Take care, Barry. Bye-bye.
Stay safe and well. Bye-bye. Well, I mean, to say that that was a presentation is an understatement. I mean, it's a whole bunch of slides, a lot to figure out, but you're not going to have any problem because it will be posted by tomorrow morning up on our YouTube channel, and you all know how to reach it on desktop, laptop, phone, whatever else that connects to the internet. I'll also post the link that Bob had. You can look at it at the end. It's the last slide, I think, of the 25 he presented. And there's just so much information out there that it's hard to absorb it. You have to be very careful and vigilant about what you read, particularly on social media. That's the real bad ground right now. I would say it's very tricky. TikTok, that's run by China. I don't trust anything that the Chinese use, to be honest with you. Well, it doesn't have to be up in the air in a balloon. It down on the ground is just as bad. So all I can say is be aware, because the only way to combat this is to be educated. forewarned is forearmed, as they say. So if you know what's going on, don't click on anything that you cannot verify as being real. When in doubt, go to the actual website and check it out. I've been getting emails about the US Postal Service having delivered something, USPS. They're waiting for me to click on that link to verify all the information. And you know that and the IRS doesn't send anything through email either. So you know that's scam or fake. Usually on the bank sites or whatever company site, they have some way of submitting spam to them directly, either through your phone, recognizing it rather, and turning it in as spam or something malicious and otherwise. So all I can say is just be prepared, just like anything else. It's been a pleasure seeing everybody again. We didn't have a huge turnout today, but as I say, quality is much more important than quantity, and I'm glad to have all of you with us. Hopefully on March the 10th, which is our next meeting, spring will be coming, believe it or not. And here we're looking at 85 degrees today, 86, and then it's going to be a little cool. I mean, I don't know how you would even measure that. It just doesn't last here in Florida. So we're looking at continuous sunshine, and I don't know. So there isn't much more to say except say safe and well, and let's say goodbye and wish everybody well. And hopefully you can contact those people who didn't come today and tell them what they missed. And people like to schedule things on Fridays, unfortunately. That includes doctor's appointments. And it's just something that takes precedence. Your health is more important than any meeting. And so we're thankful that all of you are well enough to attend. And that's all I can say. So say goodbye to everybody. Be well, be safe.
Goodbye.
See you March
Thank
the
you
10th.
very, very much. Thank you very much, Barry. This was very informative. Thank you for all the work you do for us.
Well, Bob sure did a lot of work today, I'll tell you that. It's he really is an expert in everything. I will make sure that you all get the information. And Steve, thanks for that information about the antennas. I'll look into that too. And Lorraine, if you want to send that on to me, you can do that also. What your friend had information on the antenna system that she's using.
I
I'd be
will.
very interested in knowing. I understand YouTube TV is going up too. So
YouTube TV is a good solution, but it is expensive,
yeah.
I find.
Well, DirecTV Stream is it's in the 70s right now, but you know, that's how it is. But I get a lot of entertainment channels on the lowest package, and I'm just going to live with it for a while and see how things go and make adjustments accordingly. Remember
Did
that
you
everything.
sign a contract, Barry? Did you sign a contract?
No.
You did?
No.
Oh.
It goes month to month if I want it to be.
Okay, great.
I can cancel it at any time. I do have a little box there, like a direct streaming box. I have my Roku. I have my Amazon Fire Stick 4K that I've had. I bought a new Roku. I lost my Apple TV in transit. That's the only thing I don't need. But the house is so electronically loaded right now, I'm getting confused. You know, when I say the wrong wake word, it wakes up something else in the kitchen or in the bedroom or in the living room. So we got to mind our manners. And
wonderful.
If you're going to talk about Alexis, that's fine. Just don't say, you know what. Okay.
Enjoy your weekend, Barry. Thank you so much, and goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Peace
Yes.
and good health.